What made you want to quit your job? I once worked at a horrible retirement home, in the kitchen. When I say horrible, I mean they threatened our jobs if we didn't operate the kitchen without running water. They didn't want us working late, but kept us understaffed, and intercepted complaints before they could reach corporate. One day, we were so low-staffed, I overheard them talking about bringing someone in to help for the weekend. Problem is, I knew the person, and she was a legitimate crackhead, who had been fired before for harassing the residents. That same day, I went on lunch and called a friend that worked for an auto detailing company. During that call, I spoke to the manager, and was guaranteed a job by the next day. I took it, blocked all numbers pertaining to the retirement home, office numbers, cell numbers, all of it, and went and filled out the app, and got my shirts, and I loved it. Months later, I run into someone who worked there, and apparently the manager got reported en masse by the residents, in a way that prevented him from intercepting it. Needless to say, he doesn't work there anymore. I'm a biomed tech. I'm currently working alongside my boss on a project that seeks to replace 6 of a certain model of equipment with help from a foundation where they'll foot 90% of all costs. In order to do that, we have to provide them with a lot of info in order to justify the purchase. Some of that info includes how much the school will pay for service, including parts and pay for the engineer, yours truly. Based on past experience, I took my daily pay and applied it to how much it takes me to do proper preventative maintenance on each unit in order to present them with the cost my job would have to pay for service for the next 5 years. Even though I'd already calculated my daily pay, both before and after taxes, seeing it applied to a real-world example and realizing it's such a low number disgusted me. I'm giving away my time and effort for almost nothing. When I applied that for the remaining units that are still in use, for a total of 62, I got incredibly angry. 62 units, over 40 hours of labor in total, and what I'm paid for that is ridiculous. I used to think outside service providers were so expensive when I looked at their invoices, but no. The truth is I'm selling myself short. That was when I decided I needed to find something that paid me appropriately for such workloads. The job I quit a month ago. It was a shoe store called Call It Spring/Aldo Group Incorporated. The boss at the store was a fucking joke, and so was the district manager as well. I met the district once for a virtual interview, and from what I got told was kind of a disorganized, not honest person. The manager was 23 to 25, had a fiancé, and acted like a fucking teenager. He would gossip at other stores, talk behind people's backs, fuck off to the Dollarama, fuck off to the food court, fuck off out of the store for a bit, fuck off out of the store to leave early for many stupid reasons, and leaving untrained staff who barely know shit to help customers out on their own. He didn't do his work, he was extremely lazy. He would stress pace/walk around/in and out of the store, which would fuck up our conversion numbers, called his fiancé non-stop or district manager, made inappropriate remarks or made normal conversations very inappropriate, which made others feel uncomfortable. I ultimately quit because I couldn't deal with his fucking shit and the company's district/general management, cause they are fucking clowns/idiots, and they were highly disorganized as well. I'm fucking 20 and I worked with another co-worker who was 17, and either of us were more mature than the manager. Fuck, both of us combined for maturity with 10x than the manager. Don't forget this guy between 23 to 25 with a fiancé. I feel bad for when they have kids. Plus he spills everything out about his personal life to everyone who would listen. I've never been more happier than to quit that job, and I don't fucking regret it at all. When I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed right out of college, I accepted a job at a company that made and distributed walk-in bathtubs. The owner was this Eastern European guy who just had insane demands, fired people willy-nilly, and just fostered an unpleasant atmosphere. What I came to learn was that every morning he'd march into the marketing department, announce a huge project, and then a few hours cancel it. And this was every day. I found myself just playing online games and going on Reddit for the majority of the day because it simply didn't matter if I did any work, he'd just cancel it. Then all of a sudden a bunch of workers were installing surveillance cameras, which at first seemed reasonable. But the moment they were operational, he sent out an email describing how he'd be watching us and monitoring how often we'd be going to the bathroom and how often we got up for coffee, and I realized this was insanity and quit that day. Worked for a small business, niche market retail. Company was having some financial problems, so pay was constantly late. Some of us had gone more than a month without getting a paycheck. Now, you might think that is what made me want to quit, because that's a very reasonable thing to quit over. I was in okay shape, I love the business and wanted it to succeed, so I was getting frustrated but still putting in the work. I don't remember the precise circumstances, but I'd run into the manager after one of my shifts. I might have run back into work to pick up my stuff after seeing a movie, and he gives me shit for having missed a spot while sweeping, or some other asininely minor issue. Now, I hated this manager anyways, that's a different story, and I was not having any of it at that point, and just straight up said you're lucky I was in at all, since it's been number of weeks since I've been paid. And the dude has the nerve to say, well, if you're not happy you can just quit. Almost did. Today? I'd probably take him up on that and then report the business for being so far behind on pay. I've gotten a lot less tolerant of bullshit in the last few years. I was into WFM editing manuscripts for a while, but the company had reviewers who review the way I edited. Mind you, I had my own publications published without any such external help, so pretty sure what I knew about writing was good enough. Still, the reviewers gave me low ratings and comments like you should have used because instead of as. Like, do you not know they are synonymous? Then I started a new job and left at the moment they said you are not editing enough manuscripts per month, so it is better you quit. I partied that night. Oh, and I have another one. I was going to collaborate with a senior person for a project. But this senior person was condescending and felt it was his prerogative to train and question every move of mine. For example, what are you gaining from this collaboration? He even lectured me on how to manage my time by telling me his struggles in early career. No, thank you. I am not your intern, I am your collaborator. There is a difference. Definitely felt lighter the moment he hit send on the email dissociation from the project blah blah. People, no point in working with people who don't value your experience.